Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope y'all been in the gym. In this video, I will be talking about Krile's FR, right? Y'all excited? Somebody is, I'm sure. Anyways, in this video, where you pull on Krile's FR, I'm gonna review the units and use that information to guide my suggestions. If you're new to the channel, I play both versions of the game. I use that experience and knowledge to guide how I look at things. I wanna hear what you guys are thinking, so leave a comment with your plans for the event and the banner overall. Also, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Be sure to hit the notification bell. It's real big, so you don't miss a video, so you don't miss a live stream. I'm streaming a lot more, polls and events, and those are tons of fun live. I pop off. Oh man, and lastly, you can become a channel member for $1, and I will always interact with your comments, and you get special emotes. And be sure to check out my playlist of my bi-weekly stream that I didn't do last week because I was streaming the new event. Whoops. The Ranting Hour, where I talk about more in-between stuff, and y'all can hear my thoughts on other various things that are more fun. Anyways, let's talk about Krile overall. She is a Thunder Enchant support. She buffs the party. She provides tons of battery via her EX overhead, battering the party after every action. She gives off-turn damage now. Her LB, that is a trap debuff, now has multiple HP attacks, and she can gauge charge, and the trap she provides also paralyzes. Her rework just gives her more damage, instant turn rate on her charge skill, more damage across the board. Nothing too major to focus on. As for her FR condition, what you want to do for Krile is you want to do thunder attacks, and this is pretty easy with Krile because she is a thunder enchanter, so anyone that is non-elemental will be hitting this. This also counts for off-turn damage though, so Krile is the first like generic off-turn FR that we're getting. So off-turn thunder can work, so like traps, canes, etc., stuff like that works. There's also an additional 20% when Krile batteries the party. This can include her buff skills, but this also includes her EX overhead, which should be ticking down after anyone acts. So this is actually pretty simple to accomplish, and it can also be carried over to a BT phase because Krile's overhead, I believe, doesn't tick down during BT phases. So if you really want to get the most out of Krile, you want to probably lean into off-turn, so Auron, who's on the banner, Kane, Edge, who's doing off-turn thunder, Garnet, who's doing off-turn thunder, Beatrix, off-turn thunder, or just anyone that's generic, like non-elemental, like Machina. I don't know who else does. Core, I guess, down the line. You can do stuff like that. Let's keep it moving. So my evaluation as a whole for Krile, her strengths are that she is a decent gaze charger. Her skill 1 is instant. She doesn't have that many uses of it, but it can get the job done if you really need just one and done. She provides off-turn thunder damage. Strong battery, because her EX batteries the party based on how much her EX does. If you're really into Krile's damage, you're pretty much capped on battery, similar to Steiner, like after you do everything. She's got a very simple FR. You don't, as long as you bring non-elemental and off-turn, you're pretty much satisfied it, or you can sit there and just charge. And she is a pure Thunder LD call. This is really important. This is where the nuance kicks in, because even if you're not that interested in Krile's FR, down the line we've got Beatrix, whose FR requires Thunder, and if there is a lockout stage that you cannot use anything but Thunder, and there's an overlap, say like Ash's LD call enchants what, Holy and Thunder, or Garnet's is Water and Thunder. If everything is blocked out except Thunder, Krile is the one you need to lean on. So I think she's got incredible value for that alone. Weaknesses though, she doesn't provide any natural healing outside of equipping her with spheres. Her FR does age poorly. The conditions are fine, but the numbers aren't. And so she'll get quickly outclassed by like next month and better off turns like Reno and Brain Fry, because I'm trying to process too many things right now. But yeah, her numbers just aren't great. This first half of the month, not great. She doesn't have the greatest, while she is a charger, she's not the greatest. She's got what, 8 uses of skill 1, and then you're kind of cooked there. Pinello and Ignis can do the job much better. So pulling Krile as a unit just for the gauge charge, I don't think is the greatest idea. And she is Thunder focused, and so it's kind of it goes both ways. So if you want to lean into the Thunder, then you're good. But if you're not leaning into the Thunder, her and the party could actively detriment from running any FRs used. So it's either all in on Thunder or all in on some condition or whatever. Feel me? Let's move on to Auron. Auron is a cover plus counter tank. He provides party HP regen. He has got defense ignore on his LD and LD counter, I believe. He's a debuffer, and he helps the party hit higher melee numbers along with HP damage up and like Embrave, I-Brave down, I believe. I think that's his main debuffs. And he's Brave damage focused. So a lot of units can like Brave game through things, but Auron is not one of them. He focuses on hitting them hard and hitting high Brave damage numbers and ignoring defense. So, Auron strengths, great off turns. He's got triple with his rework now. He's got triple counter in the off turn. It's split damage, and if you boost split damage high enough, it turns into full AoE damage with enough modifiers. So that's great scaling. I think out of all the counter tanks, I think Auron has the highest damage ceiling. I think so. He's got a modified Brave and HP attack to hit any of those potential conditions down the line. You can control his speed. This is a nice little tech that I didn't know about until recently. If you remove his 35 CP passive and remove his speed passive, he doesn't speed up as much, and so you can really lean on him hard as an off-turn damage unit, because again, 3 HP attacks in the off-turn, very, very good. He's got a great sword ultimate weapon, which is also very flexible. As for weaknesses, he does have split damage, and split damage gets murdered if you're not properly augmenting it with HP damage up and potentially ultimate weapons. He is brave damage focused, so while he can cut through things really hard, like high brave damage in the off turns, if he's resisted a little bit, he's going to have a really hard time because he cannot gain through it like some other units. His generic debuffs can get in the way of stuff, and he's vulnerable. When I say this, I mean, so let's look at Gladio and Galuf, for example. Galuf can avoid debuffs. I mean mostly debuffs. Galuf can dodge debuffs. Gladio is debuff immune unless it's forced. Auron, if the enemy is like paralyzing, and I believe this very fight does that, it drops paralyzes a lot. Auron is kind of screwed in that regard. He is subject to getting debuffed and other nasty things, but he does provide damage in the meantime. So lastly, we have Strago on the banner. He does AoE, non-elemental magic. He's a rebreaker. He's got a really explosive EX, 8 HP attacks provided you set up correctly, and he's got instant break on his skill 2 provided they're at an even brave amount, and he's got instant break on his LD, and it rebreaks on his LD as well. Strago's pretty dated though. I mean, again, strength, force break, thinking down to like conditions like Gabronth, maybe that's a stretch. He's got really big EX damage, staff ultimate weapon's pretty flexible, and he's got break calls if you need them. But his skills are pretty bad. He's just outdated, and if you were to use his calls for breaking, they're pretty niche, and you probably won't lean on those anyway. So Strago's not really who you want to focus on. He does get an FR down the line, it's pretty good, but I can't. Yeah, Strago right now is a little dated. That's not an old joke. Anywho, before you pull on this banner, and just to even this out, this is aimed at people unable to decide. I don't care if you love the character and you really think they're necessary, whatever. Blog it, I don't care. If you're broke, I always advise use the community, see how you can optimize your runs without spending, and use forecasts, etc. if you're looking to pick someone up later to see when they return. And as always, think forward to future FRs you might be interested in. So, my personal plan is I have everything on this banner except Krile's FR, and I'm not going to use Krile's FR, so free pull and I'm out. Hopefully I don't get Kane's PT because I already tokened it. Yeah, Krile's numbers are just not, they don't age well. That's just what it is. You can really play into it and get as much out of it, but like in a month from now, you won't have to work nearly as hard to get the same numbers from everyone else. So I can't recommend anyone pull Krile's FR. People who have already determined to do that are going to do so. I can't recommend to pull Krile for gauge charge purposes. We've got Pinello on the previous banner and Ignis on the next banner. Ignis is probably the most efficient at charging and getting out. Pinello is a decent, I say maybe even better in party than Ignis, but you've got two better options there. I would, if you do, if you're planning on getting Beatrix's FR, definitely. Because I remember the stage she debuted in, it locked everything out except Thunder, so Ashe LD calls got screwed. And I think in general, I'd recommend trying to get Krile's LD. You don't have to build her completely unit, but if you have her LD call, that can open the doors to many different Shinryu comps and FR comps. But if you don't have Auron at this point either, then I'd recommend picking him up, because the more counter tanks, the more better. The whole have one tank to skip one tank doesn't work, because there's lockout content. Auron scales better on different teams, stuff like that. And Auron has the highest damage potential. So if you don't have Krile's LD and you don't have Auron's kit, I'd say pick them up here. I would not say go for Krile's FR. That's about it though. Let me know what you guys think. Plans, what you're gonna do for the event. I think this Shinryu isn't as bad, but the force condition, they become unbreakable or something. I don't remember. I'll figure it out when I get there. I will likely stream the event, so stay tuned for that again. Hit the notification bell. I'll catch you guys later. Got this in under 10 minutes. Nice. All right. Catch you guys later. Let me know what you think. Peace.